What's up, guys? Man, it's been a while since I was this excited about a knife. This one came in and I was already expecting it to be good, right? It's all over the groups, tons of reviews. Everybody who's bought this knife has nothing but killer things to say about it. Everyone that's reviewed this knife has had killer things to say about it, but you still don't know till you get it in your hand, right? The knife caught me by surprise. So I've seen it several times and I've passed on it. I mainly only buy knives in the secondary. That's why I have the group. Try to get a deal on them. There's not much of a deal to be gotten on these knives because they're high in demand. They're custom knives that are just killer. They're made in low production numbers. So finally an opportunity came up and I was able to do a trade to get one of these. As soon as I got it in my hand, I understood what everybody was talking about. Of course, we're talking about the Grimsmo Norseman. This is one variant. They make tons of variants. I actually traded for another one last night with the honeycomb pattern. And the fit and finish of this knife is the story, okay? So, of course, everyone knows that they machine their bevels instead of grind them. They do this step-down pattern. Pretty cool. I can't say that the blade shape is my favorite. One, because it has a recurve in there. I'm not a fan of recurves. But I can tell you this knife is so good, it overcomes that, and I don't care. I don't care that it's a recurve. It's that good of a knife. The lock bar pressure has to be 2 inch-pounds. It's nothing. I mean, you can barely tell you're pushing it over. I mean, most of these knives, especially like Medfords that I get, the lock bar pressure is so stiff, I have to go in and relieve it. This one is just perfect. So it's not just the action, it's the fidgetability of this thing, how easy it is to just maneuver. There's nothing really outstanding about this knife except as far as visual, except for the awesome diamond pattern. I mean, you could tell that's lots of machining. But the purple anodization is perfect. Even the hardware, they take the time to machine their own hardware. They put these small dots in there. It's those small details that make these knives so amazing. Look at the pivot with their logo in it. The matching thumb stud. Just a really cool knife. And of course, this one has the polished stonewash finish on the blade. That's just my favorite. Look at this. There's even writing underneath the pocket clip and inside the scales. I mean, who takes the time to do all that? It's amazing. I just saw something I didn't even know. There's a Grimsmo Norseman logo milled on the inside of there. Look, that is crazy. Crown spine all the way down. Love, love, love that. This knife was super sharp. So this knife came unused. It was, on the secondary, but it was a safe queen. So not only do they sell an amazing knife, they build an amazing knife, they package it well. That's important to me. The presentation is killer. They give you the tool to take it apart, the oil to service it. They take the time to cut out all this foam and put their logo in there. That's not a ton of money, but when I'm buying $1,000 knife, I want something with it. I want a packaging with it, like what Tony Marfione does. That packaging is killer. I love this too. There's other makers that do a Pelican case, but it's just a plain old empty Pelican case with a knife thrown in it. There's other custom makers that just send you a knife like this in a plastic bag. Come on, guys. We can do a little better than that. And I understand I'm gonna take this box and I'm gonna put it in a cabinet over there with all the other boxes. But that's fine. When I go to sell this knife, all this stuff will be just like this. The knife will probably be barely used. I don't have any intentions to sell this knife. This knife is going into my permanent collection, which everyone knows is not permanent. It's liquid, it moves. But as of now, I plan on keeping this knife for a long time. I actually, like I said, got another one on the way. Okay, so it has a great flipper action, right? No doubt about that. It has an even better thumb stud. I mean, you just barely touch it. I say this about, I've said this about several knives, but this knife feels more assisted than any knife. I'm not even barely putting any pressure on there, and you can't misfire it. It's like it's spring loaded. That's just quality machining. That's just quality parts. These guys do a fantastic job. The Grimsmo brothers are killing it. They also make another knife called the Grimsmo Rask. It's a little bit skinnier than this knife, a little more traditional looking. I would love to get my hands on one of those. Looks like aftermarket prices are between $1,500 and $2,000. That's a little bit out of my price range. So until maybe their production catches up one day and their prices come down, maybe I can get in on it. Maybe not, but I try not to spend that kind of money on knives, because every time I have, I've been let down. Because when I spend over $1,000, I'm really expecting something phenomenal. I mean, it almost needs to be some dancing chicks jump out with it, right? So, 1,000's about my cutoff point. I'll break it a little bit, but not much, not that much. I'm not gonna double it. So for now, I'm riding with the Norseman. So let's do some size comparisons on this beaut. Everyone knows the traditional PM2, Spyderco PM2. Very similar in size. The Norseman's actually a bit larger and definitely bulkier in the width. Let's see what else we got here. Lynch pry bar. Most people know what size that is. I think most people have one of those. And we will do for the Medford fans, a Medford Slim Midi. So anyway, to wrap up, this knife is also super, super light. I mean, for a full titanium knife, it weighs nothing. Look at that. I love the thinness of that knife. The pocket clip glides right over your pocket with no effort. I love my Marfione Annex, one of my favorite knives. Looks like it would be a great pocket clip. Not a great pocket clip. Grabs your pants really bad. Grimsmo brothers kill it in pocket clips. It works exactly as it should. They use RWL 34, it seems like, in most or all their knives. Not all of them, because I know some of them are Damascene steel and stuff, but all the ones I've seen so far are RWL 34. I think that's a decent steel. I don't know a lot about it. I think there are definitely some better choices, but that's what they use. And to be honest, if we're honest with ourselves, most of us wouldn't know the difference between that and M390 when it comes down to it. I mean, we're not putting these knives through that kind of pace, right? And definitely easier to sharpen, and that's going to make a difference when you're talking about a recurve, because that's definitely a thing. They're not fun to sharpen, especially on like a Wicked Edge or a fixed system. You really need to get the recurve stones for it, and who wants to buy a whole set of stones just for one knife? So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Grimsmo Norseman. I'm a super fan for sure. Guys, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. If you want more content like this, I try to bring you good content. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.